let's move on to this oatmeal thing.
While you're loading that up, I heard an interesting story this week, and I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently U2 was playing a show in Glasgow, Scotland, and there was a section where Bono was talking about how he was talking about children and infant mortality in Africa, and he was clapping his hands in rhythm. He was saying, "Every time I clap my hands, a child in Africa dies." And some guy from the audience goes, "Well, stop clapping then, man."
Come on, dude. Come on, sunglasses.
Oh, man.
Bono needs a crotch punch really bad.
All right. So we're taking a look at the oatmeal synth.
Every time I play
I like that.
Kind of looks like oatmeal.
It does, but it's a pretty oatmeal. I like it.
The GUI is okay. The sounds are pretty hot.
Sounds kind of like oatmeal.
Yeah. But as you can see, there's a ridiculous amount of controls here, and it's kind of hard to, know where to start. You got two oscillators. This one is set to a user wavetable, and I always like wavetables. You can draw them yourself. Actually, I'm going to turn it so it's just the wavetable. Bring it to the edit so we can draw in our own. Drawing our own little waves here.
For you DIY synthesis guys right there.
Also, you design students. Here we have a square wave.
Can you draw Mickey Mouse?
I don't know. It can only be a straight line is the problem.
Could you draw
Here, let's.
I hear if you draw Mickey Mouse, it'll sound exactly like the electronic light parade.
That's the closest I can get to Mickey Mouse right here.
Let's hear it. Boo.
No, not happening.
If you draw Mickey Mouse as your waveform, you get all the happiness in the world.
It also has a setting where you can use your custom wavetable as and then do a pulse width modulation on it. So that's what I'm doing right now with our faux Mickey Mouse wavetable. You can go pretty crazy with the depth. And of course there's the other waveform as well. It's a sine wave right now. You can set it to sawtooth, pulse width, triangle, and of course there's another user editable. I'll draw Mini as close as I can this time. Minnie Mouse.
Let's do Miss Pac-Man. This portion looks like Miss Pac-Man.
That's out of the question.
You can't do circles on waveforms. It's a weird thing.
But aren't oscillations really just circles anyway?
Watch a science video, man. They can tell you all about it. But anyway, here we have our sound here. Let's look at some of the other stuff. The way you can mix them is a little different. Now we have them synced. Now we have them frequency modulation.
Mike, the last statement you made no damn sense.
What's that?
It made no sense.
What?
Oscillations are just circles anyways?
Well, never mind.
They're circular in nature, but in one dimension. But when you add the second dimension, time, or third dimension, whatever,
it becomes linear.
Yeah, it's a linear thing. Sorry, man.
Boo.
Science apologizes. Of course, it also there's also a white noise generator.
I'm just going to become a lawyer so I can fact check you guys all the time. And I'll get a ruler and smack Mike Payne whenever he says something crazy like that.
All right.
It's just noise, like...
Okay, so there's also the standard stuff, filters. There's a distortion section. There's a few different forms of distortion. We're listening to it before the filters. That's double before the filters and also after the filters. So there's lots of different things on here. You got two LFOs. Probably not even going to be able to get into those. You got delay. Turn that on. You can quantize that to your tempo.
Awesome.
I constantly wonder why you haven't made $1 million yet, Mike Payne.
Huh?
I constantly wonder why you haven't made $1 million yet, man.
Because of my good looks?
No, because like whenever you're just screwing around, you're like this close to making like one of those Electro Clash like hits for like an Intel commercial, and like I'm just like, why isn't this guy? I mean,
are you listening, Intel?
Yeah, get those stupid European people to dance to his stuff.
There's also an XY pad, and right now I have it set to the resonance. Actually, both resonance. Let's do pitch as well. starting to sound like what's his face, Mamara Glue, and it also has I just turned the arpeggiator on. This arpeggiator, I don't even know what it's doing really. There's just so much stuff to it. But if you just start clicking, you start getting some cool stuff.
Are there any polyphonic patches?
I believe that this is just a monophonic.
Okay.
I was messing with this and I didn't see anything. There's an EQ section. There's just way too much here.
Doesn't sound like a very versatile synth. It sounds kind of one-dimensional.
It does kind of have that thing about it. It doesn't do... Yeah, it doesn't do all that much.
Well, like oatmeal, which is very good for breakfast, it doesn't really translate well to lunch and dinner.
It's great for bass things. You can get some cool like percussion sounds. It has some presets that are percussive.
Nice, I like that kick.
There's a snare, but I think the snare is pretty crappy. Pretty lo-fi.
Sounds like an old rhythm section on an organ or something.
Yeah, pretty cool. So anyway,
get Fergie on this, man. We'd be making millions of dollars, man. Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm designing Flavor Flav's comeback album. I've decided, and it'll be all done on drums like that.
If you need any cool Euro licks, look me up.
So anyway, we're gonna move on.